Paige Mackenzie is a dynamic, multi-talented media personality and the official backstage correspondent for Awesome Championship Wrestling, also known as ACW. Bringing a diverse background that spans music, entertainment, broadcasting, and legal studies, Paige injects a sharp, energetic, and highly professional vibe into ACW's backstage coverage. Whether conducting high-stakes interviews or delivering exclusive behind-the-scenes updates, she is a driving force behind the camera for wrestling fans. I had an amazing time with Paige on this episode of One-on-One with Sylvia The Siren.
Hey guys, it's Paige Mackenzie here, and you are now tuned in to Sylvia The Siren.
Alrighty, welcome Paige. This is Sylvia The Siren. We're gonna go one-on-one. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's an honor to meet you. Like we said off screen, we met you. We heard about you through Lewis, which is Kiggy's father. So I'm excited to do this one-on-one with you. He talked really highly about you, and I love just interacting and doing one-on-ones with like correspondent, any woman in media. So it's super dope, and especially on the indie scene. You know, I feel like right now with the indie scene, we're getting a lot of love, which is amazing. So yeah, I just want to tap into a couple things as far as like on ACW and everything like that's going to be taking place on July 18th. But my first question I just want to ask you to get started on our one-on-one is, tell me, the first question is, you started off doing interviews. Why wrestling, and what made you a wrestling fan?
So I actually got into wrestling in a kind of untraditional way. I didn't grow up in a family where WWE was playing every Monday or Thursday, Friday. I actually grew up in a more of a reality TV family. So one day, my mom was it Bravo or E, whatever channel on, and I see Total Divas come on, and I was instantly hooked. I was watching it. I was obsessed with, well, my name's Paige, obviously, so I was obsessed with Paige, the Bellas, and I was like, oh, these girls are so cool. What are they doing? I need to see more of this. So then that got me into WWE, and since then, I've just been all over it, especially the women's division. It has a special place in my heart.
Awesome. You know what? We off the rip already got a lot in common because I love the Divas era. I was a huge fan of Total Divas, Natty, Paige, and
Natty
also
yes,
Natty, Paige, and Naomi. Oh my God, like seriously. So I had took a break from wrestling at one point because I love the Attitude Era, and then when it was on E, so you were right, it came on E, and it had Total Divas. Once I started watching Total Divas, I was like, oh my God, I want to get back into wrestling. And that's what got me back into wrestling. I was a huge Divas fan. But those girls, Paige, Naomi, and Natty, were my favorite. So yeah, we starting out good on this one-on-one already. I love Total Divas.
I always love telling their story because I think it's just a funny way to get into wrestling.
Exactly. You kind of knew what was going on with the storylines, low-key watching Total Divas. And then I love at the time that they were kind of utilizing Total Divas into the storyline of wrestling, because you know at that time it was a whole big thing about we want divas, and the Divas matches were kind of like the bathroom matches, but Total Divas I feel like gave that nostalgia for people to come back and to really tap into women's wrestling. So I will forever rewatch Total Divas. Seriously.
Well, that's my comfort show. I also like Total Bellas, not as much because John Cena is kind of the villain throughout that.
And I'm a John fan too.
His heel turn last year, I was like, that wasn't his heel turn. His heel turn was on Total Divas and Total Bellas.
I remember somebody tweeting that and saying, like, listen, this ain't new to John, this hero. He been a hero on Total Divas.
Yeah.
Especially that episode with him and Brie when the whole cleaning his house and she was cooking. The what is it called? The OCD episode, I'm gonna just call it. Loved it. I still love him, even though he definitely was a heel.
I got to see him in Springfield on one of his last dates, so that was pretty cool.
How was that? Yeah, like how is he in person and everything?
It was cool. I didn't meet him or anything, but I was my secret hack to shows is I get the last row on the floor, so your first row for the entrances. So I was like 3 feet away from him, and it was pretty cool to see him like in the flesh on his little retirement run, or a big retirement run he had the whole year.
You're so lucky because you got to see him during his retirement run. I got to see him in 2021 on a house show, like when he did his last run with the house shows. I love John Cena.
Cool, that's like his home arena, so it was super cool to see him there because he had a big hometown reception.
That's super dope. So my next question is, like, you have an incredibly unique background as a wrestling broadcaster, including a law degree. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Yes, you have a law degree. How does having the legal mind and analytical background help you navigate the professional chaos in wrestling and the locker room?
Ooh, that's a good question. So my background is really interesting, as you were saying, because I come from music industry is my first background. I worked in live events full time. My bachelor's degree is in the music industry. And then COVID hit and I lost all 3 jobs in the same day. And I didn't want to sit around doing nothing during COVID. So I took the LSATs, applied to law school, got in, went. COVID was going on still while I was there. So yeah, very interesting. And then ended up somehow getting to wrestling. But I think that background just makes me extremely prepared for any situation I'm thrown into, because you're trained to take in a lot of information at once and condense it and put it into English, like plain English. And I think that's a really helpful skill to have in a broadcasting scenario, because you never know what's going to get thrown at you when you're back there. And I think I'm able to process things quickly and figure out how I need to react.
That's amazing. No, I totally understand, especially with being in media, you got to think quick on your feet and everything like that. So that's definitely a good perspective on that for sure.
Now, happening 3 hours later than they were supposed to, and doors are open and they're going on in 30 seconds, but you need to get that done.
Yeah, I need you here, I need you there. Like, so I could only imagine, especially like when you having to prep and get ready and get your mind into, get into the correspondent stage of it all. So yeah, that's super dope. Yeah. But when you first stepped behind the microphone to cover wrestling, what was the biggest eye opener or adjustment you had to make compared to traditional media?
So I am terrified of public speaking. I have never done it in my entire life. I've avoided it, even in college and presentations. I've never liked it. But I had this unique opportunity presented to me and I could not say no. And 2025 was my year of saying yes. That was my New Year's resolution. I was just going to say yes to everything, no matter how uncomfortable or anxious it made me. And it ended up being the best year of my life because I did that. So really just learning that I'm capable of public speaking and being in front of people. And now I have, I'm gaining a following through ACW and I'm on this huge screen in an arena every couple months. It's very odd if you knew me before 2025, but it's been amazing.
That is so dope. So I got a question. With you working in ACW, has there been any dreams of wanting to go like on another roster, like as far as like AEW or WWE? If you had an opportunity to be able to get booked for one of those brands, which brand did you really see yourself that you could be able to fit into their type of style of correspondent?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think the dream for anybody is WWE at the end of the day. But I think there's also a lot of untapped potential in the other companies. I think TNA has a really interesting roster right now. I think that would be cool to work with, especially because ACW has a lot of TNA talent on our roster. So I have kind of repertoire with, I got to interview the Hardys. I've interviewed the Righteous twice now. So it's cool to have that background with them already. So I think that could be interesting. I don't know. I would be open to anything. And my boyfriend's a professional wrestler, so the dream is if we could work together one day, that would be pretty cool. So yeah,
that would be awesome. Yeah. I saw that your boyfriend was a professional wrestler, so that's super dope. I see that they're trying to incorporate like the correspondence with the storylines. I always wanted to see Renee and John like really go at it a little bit more into storylines, because that was going to be my follow-up question. We have a lot of correspondents, we have a lot of media analysts that's in wrestling right now on the major brands and major companies. Which one is like an inspiration to you? Like, who do you really like look up to out of all of the correspondents and analysts that we have on those brands?
You're asking really good questions. I think recently I've been really infatuated with Kathy Kelly, especially after her most recent Chris Van Vliet interview, speaking up about how her autism diagnosis has made her more aware of her social presence and everything. I think that's just really interesting as someone with a social anxiety background and navigating public speaking for the first time. And I also think she's just incredible what she does. And I think her off-screen relationships with the talent is really special. I think it's important to have that. And I try to do that and have a good relationship with all the people I'm around when I'm at ACW or anywhere, really. I just like to try and like keep the peace and have good vibes with everybody. And I think Kathy Kelly is a good representation of doing that, but then staying professional on screen.
Awesome. You know what? Again, another commonality that me and you have is I love me some Kathy Kelly. My husband could attest to that. Like, I love Kathy Kelly and I love Renee too. But Kathy Kelly, I love her the same way that you love her, how she is off screen when it comes to like having a relationship with the wrestlers. The Chris Van Vliet interview, I want to tap into that when she announced her diagnosis. I actually have ADHD. So when she had announced that, I was like, wow. So like it's another woman that finally like is opened up, because it's so taboo to talk about like autism, ADHD, ADD. So it was really like brave of her to put that out there and be vulnerable and not be like scared to like let the world know like, hey, I'm not perfect. You might see me behind a mic. You might see me looking very glamorous because she's extremely beautiful. But hey, I have, things that I got going on within myself as well. So that was very, very impactful. Shout out to CVV as well, because, for him being able to like break that, story when it comes to her and her being so comfortable with him. I really admire him when it comes to, when he do his interviews, when it comes to
He's
that.
incredible. Every time I have a long drive, I'm putting a Chris Van Vliet interview on. Like his Paul Heyman one that he just released last week, one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Listen, Paul Heyman was amazing. Big E was amazing. Like he was just on one last week with all the ones that he was dropping. So I truly, I'm a big fan, especially like if anybody we're going to give flowers to in this journalism community of wrestling, we got to give it to him, because like seriously, he's been giving on a banger. But Kathy Kelly, I gotta agree with you on that. Last thing about Kathy Kelly, I know like her relationship with the wrestlers. What made me draw to love her even more is remember when R-Truth had got released? He got released, and when they brought him back, she broke character and started crying in her interview. And I was just like, you know what? That right there said that I just love how she's vulnerable, and I want to see more from her. I know they're tapping into her being like the valet role, the manager role, but she's going to do incredible things.
How that transition would go if they do pull the trigger on that.
Yeah. Do you think that would be a great idea for them to pull that trigger on her to go into one of those character modes?
I think that's done correctly. I think the transition needs to make sense, and you don't want to ruin something like that. So I think if handled adequately, I think it could be something really interesting and new, just to shake things up a little bit.
I 100% agree with you, because the way things are going right now with creative world in the W.
That'll ruffle some feathers, whether it's good or not. So you got to make it great.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you 100%. So speaking of interviews, every interview has that one guest who keeps them on their toes, right? In ACW, who has been your toughest interview, and what happened that made it so memorable?
I don't want to say toughest, but this is the most memorable. It would have to be at the last show back in May. Was it May? I think so. Whatever. The last show. I was doing Yusufer L and Wrecking Ball Ligursky, and I don't know where they were. We were supposed to be starting the interview, and all of a sudden there's chunks of chicken flying in my face and my hair, and these two, a Barbarian and a Wrecking Ball, just cross paths in front of me with chickens in their hands, devouring them. So that was interesting, because I had to deal with food being thrown in my face while I was trying to ask questions, and then they just took over and were chanting whatever they were chanting. So I think that was very memorable and challenging in the fact that I didn't know where that was going at any given moment.
So it was one of the things that was unexpected when it came to that situation.
Yeah.
Now, the secret. We all have that one interview is like, okay.
Yeah. And then Chirac, which is Yusufer's partner, she was just dancing on me. I was like, yeah, this is great. It was my first interview of the night. I'm like, I love it. That's the beauty of the industry, right?
Right. I gotta ask, like, what are some like special ones that you would like to do in the future? Like, what's any brand, any stars like you would like to like get that one-on-one with?
That's a really good question. I feel like just because, actually, I would say Paige, because I got to meet her right before she announced her return to WWE. She did a book signing in New Jersey at Pandora's Box. And her and I ended up talking for probably 10 minutes. And there was a huge line, like down the entire block. And we just hit it off so well. We had the best banter, and she was such a lovely human being. I would love to sit down with her in a professional setting and get to interview her as a correspondent, not just a fan, talking to her at a book signing. I thought she was just probably the best celebrity interaction I've ever had. It was incredible.
It's funny, like everybody says that about Paige, and I was happy that she came back for WrestleMania this year. That I wish that WWE would have not announced that. I would love like that pop without us knowing that she was coming back. But it's still all in all, I'm happy that she came back home because you could kind of tell that she wanted to come back home for a long time,
And it was
and
very
even in her book, yeah,
yeah. Her book, that's the best book I read in a very long time. Oh,
I heard great stories about her book, and it's crazy because that's how I felt when I met Natty at
okay.
her book signing in Greensboro, North Carolina. Everybody always asks who was the best interaction that I ever had, and I'm gonna always stand on this hill because I've met a lot of them. It will always be Natty. The
Okay.
interaction that I had with Natty when at her book signing was everything. She had a really long line, but she still was so personal with each and every fan that paid to get a book signing with
Mhm.
her. Just I loved every moment of her. We wound up like building a relationship after the book signing on social media, and you know what I'm saying, likes my pictures, comments on everything, and just said thank you so much for coming out. It was amazing meeting you. It was just everything, and it's crazy you meeting Paige at a book signing too, and just like the interaction. Yeah, so
I've heard
the book
Natty's great.
signings. Oh yeah, Natty
I've had
is amazing.
a few friends train at the dungeon with her, and they all have the best times when they're down there.
She's an amazing trainer. I be trying to catch some clips at the dungeon, and I just see how she is just like really like hands-on, and
Mhm.
she can make any person like she can make any superstar look good in the ring. That's
That's
why
why
I
I
really
watched WWE
yes.
before that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I really would like to see like more of her, like even currently, but I could understand like her taking like the back seat now and just allowing
I
them to
do
do their
like that
thing.
they're having her be Natty right now and letting that persona show because like what she did at Bloodsport last year was incredible. So I like that they're letting that persona be shown more on TV versus her being, Natalia with the cat ears.
Oh yeah. So you do like the OG legend character of hers. You do like that character.
Yeah.
I liked it too. I love the fact that it came back in Royal Rumble, but I was wanting to see more afterwards. And
Yeah, it's kind of like dropped it off.
yeah, and like you said earlier, if they do it right when we was talking about Kathy Kelly, then it could be able to make wonders. And I felt like they didn't do that. So with her going back to like the NXT and work with the NXT girls, you could kind of tell like that character is probably going to get a little bit more popular and notoriety with her being with those girls and training them to get to where
Yeah.
they need to get to when they come to the main roster.
They
So
started cooking with her and Maxine, and then, that kind of fell off, and now she's doing stuff in NXT, so hopefully that works out.
I want to know your take on that because that Maxine situation dropped. We had a wonderful promo, a dark promo at that, which I thought was amazing. And then next thing you know, nothing was a follow up. What was your take on that?
I liked what they were doing. I wish they stuck with it. I think it would have made Maxine's little run she was on just that much hotter if they kept with it that way. I think Maxine, her growth is incredible that she had over the past few months. I think that's what really does it for me. Whether you like her or not, you can't deny that she completely changed as a wrestler and a human being in such a short amount of time. She worked so hard. And I think it's really cool that she did get to have the IC title for a little bit and she got to be in those storylines with Becky and Natty. And I hope that they're able to do more with her because I think she has a cool career ahead of her.
That is so true. I like Maxine a lot. And I love like with the IC title with speaking of Becky, I love how Becky was putting over women. Like Maxine was the first, and then you had Lyra, and now she's
Mhm.
doing that with Soul.
Yeah.
The IC title is extremely prestigious behind that situation. So I gotta give Becky her flowers on that one.
That could have flopped, just introducing another mid card title for the women. They could have done nothing. They could have kept it very mid card, but they strapped it with Becky and had it just put the prestige behind it by having Becky be the one so involved with it.
I gotta ask this question too. Who right now on current roster for both brands? I'm gonna talk about AEW and then I'm also going to talk about WWE. Who in the women's division, who to you is like top tier and is really like is the standout right now in the women's division on both brands?
It's a hard question because like I'm a Rhea Ripley girl, but right now I don't think she's like the center of the brand for WWE. I think Liv Morgan's been doing incredible the past year or two. It sucks that she was out on injury because I think she had something really special going before that, which she's still doing great, but there's something really special before she was out on injury. As far as so yeah, I think I'd say Liv Morgan, maybe.
Definitely. I agree with you.
Okay. And then AEW, I'm not gonna lie, I am so busy. I have not been keeping up amazingly with AEW. I kind of stick to WWE.
Same.
I'm not sure
No,
who's there. I know Mara World
it's
just
the
had a really
same.
great performance with the Owen Hart Cup. And that match with Mercedes Moné was incredible. So I know she's doing great. Yeah.
I'm the same way with AEW. I'm not going to sit up here and fluff like, I've been really keeping up. I haven't either because I am like big on WWE, but I do watch AEW. And I agree. My World is something that we need to like keep our eyes on. She is somebody that I could see, progressing. But I love Athena. I love Athena. Athena, definitely. I wish they could have more for her. I wish she could come off of ROH and come on to AEW a little bit more. But yeah, I agree with you on that. Rhea, definitely, I agree on that as well. And Liv is having a great run. I think if she didn't have that injury, like you said, I don't know. I think she would have been on top of the world a little bit more.
I remember at SummerSlam when Dom turned on Rhea with Liv, my friend and I, we were watching it together. We stood up and screamed bloody murder in my apartment. I was like, someone's gonna think something's wrong. We were so heartbroken, so devastated. And then eventually I was like, oh, I love Liv Morgan and Dom together. This is the money. This is incredible. Dominic Mysterio is just a creature of his own. I love him. I love Dom. I have a Dirty Dom shirt. Like, I love him. And like his growth too, from when he debuted to now, like such a different human being and wrestler and performer. Yeah, Liv Morgan, I like her a lot. I like her as a person too, because she was on Total Divas for a little bit, and then also just hearing all of her interviews and just knowing how much this means to her and how it changed her life. I just think she's really cool.
It's funny you said that. I saw her documentary that they had. I think it was like a 30-minute that they had on one of the Peacocks. And from how she grew up in New Jersey and everything like that, and how she started to get where she at right now. I gotta say, Liv came a long way from being a part of the Riot Squad to having the gimmick with Ronda Rousey with Extreme Rules, and then her and Becky feud at one point. She came a long way and well deserved. I just gotta say that, well deserved. The Royal Rumble, it was her time.
Yeah.
Her being her being runner up 2 years in a row. I say, yeah, it's time. It's time, definitely.
I was very happy with that decision.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the men's division. Could you tell me in the men's division who right now is like your fave and like is really like top tier right now?
So up until a couple of weeks ago, it was Drew McIntyre, but now he's gone. It's still Drew McIntyre. I miss him. I think having the belt on him was incredible, and I really wish it was longer. I think he could have had a fantastic title run. I think it's still going to happen. Fingers crossed when he's back. They took off him way too soon. I love Drew McIntyre. But for people who are on TV right now, I mean, I love a world where Roman Reigns is champion. I think he can't go wrong when he's on top. I think it's more interesting when he's on top. I really like Roman Reigns.
No, Roman's that guy. Roman's that guy.
So much right now. Like Seth Rollins, love him. I think everything that happened with him over the past year has been really interesting and cool. Interested to see what happens now that he just beat Braun Breaker in that cage match. You have the young talent. You had the Braun Breakers. I'd like to see Braun Strowman come back because he was doing really cool before he got injured.
Same.
There's a lot of injuries, and that sucks. You can tell there's so many storylines that have had to be changed last minute because of these injuries. The pivoting is insane right now, especially like all the way up until WrestleMania this year, and even going into SummerSlam. I'm just seeing a lot of pivoting. But all the ones that you just named are incredible. I really, truly I love Drew McIntyre. Every time he comes to Charlotte and we go to a show, he's always there. He's a workhorse. Yeah. And I don't feel like he get enough flowers considering how he was in the Thunderdome days where he was just extremely putting on for the company. I love him. I love it. He's come to Albany a few times for Raw and SmackDown. And when you bring the sword out, I really like that. I was like, he was in her sword and I'd be like, locked.
Right. No, I get it. 100%. So shout out to Drew. I hope he makes it.
I'm happy he's filming movies and doing cool things, but yeah. We missed you. Come back.
I miss the mess talking. I miss it. I miss him. Like, honestly, SmackDown is missing like its flavor, and it's him. It's definitely him. I'm like, yo, I'm so used to seeing Drew McIntyre on SmackDown. Like, everywhere. Come on, right? Like, take the title off of Cody right now, please. Like,
yes. Like Cody, I like Cody a lot. He's fantastic, but I think he's a better title chaser than title holder. So I
My
think
girl.
that's what happens when it gets a little stale, a little quick. I mean, I guess he's not a title holder anymore.
No, I agree. My girl right there, like, definitely agree on that. Met him a couple times, a really, really kind man
Yeah, I
too
met
as
him once.
well.
He was super cool. He kicked my shoe and said, "Those are really cool," and I went, "Thanks."
Cody is funny, man. But I will say this, like he's another workhorse too. But I will say the chase was a lot better than having the title. But I do want Drew back. I can't wait to Drew get back, honestly. But I want to get back into ACW real quick. So ACW has been absolutely exploding, selling out the MJN Center.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think is the secret sauce that makes Awesome Championship Wrestling stand out so much right now?
I think we are doing television-worthy productions, WWE level productions in a small setting on the indies. So we are, I call us a super indie. That's what everyone kind of says. I'm fumbling over my words a little bit, but it's just
You good?
There's the roster's incredible, the locker room's incredible. Everyone is so happy and humbled to be there. I have never interacted with anyone negatively there. Everyone is working towards the same goal. We all want something special to come out of this. We are being recognized by huge names. We are being joined by huge names. We had the Hardys there. We had Killer Kross as their champion right now. It's a really special place, and I am so honored to be part of it.
That's amazing. So my next question, following up with my last question, every independent wrestling event has its own unique energy. What do you think will make the July 18th show in Poughkeepsie stand out from the rest?
Well, I think fans are really excited that Killer Kross is coming back because he wasn't at our last show, and you could tell fans are missing him, which makes it that much more special that he's going to be here again. And Scarlett's amazing too. They are two of my favorite people to have in a locker room. I'm so happy that he's our champ right now. I think it's really cool. We're going to have a big battle royal for the women. So that'll be exciting because we're going to have 10 women in that, and then we're going to have another singles match, I believe. So we're going to have so many women there, which I always love. I'm a big proponent of women's wrestling. So I think that's going to be really special. We keep getting bigger and better every show. And this is, we're a year and a half into this. And it's going to be really cool.
That's amazing because I've been keeping a Kid Yeet under her takes when she do her ring takes. I've been keeping up. I was like, oh my God. I was like, look like it's so much fun. So with the show coming on July 18th, tell me a little bit more about that show, like who we will see at that show, if you're able to release a little bit of what to expect.
So we have Killer Kross is defending his ACW heavyweight title against Matt Riddle, who he's been in a couple of ACW shows before. So that's exciting. He's coming back. I got to interview him at my very first ACW show. We have the Righteous coming back, and they are in tag team action against Dante Casanova and someone, I believe. I should know this off the top of my head.
It's all good. I be like that too when I be having to go live. I be like, hold on, I didn't know who was on the card today.
Yeah, let me just look at who they're with because that's gonna drive me.
Unlike AEW, they have like 10 matches a day, and like I be wondering how some of the analysts be able to keep up with that.
Yeah. Yep. So Salil, I can never say his name, and Dante Casanova are going against the Righteous. I was right about that. Okay. Yeah, and then we have Seth Delander is our women's champion, and she's going to be defending against J-Rod, who has interfered with her match last time, and she was in the triple threat with her when she won the title. So that'll be fun to see. J-Rod's really cool, actually. I really like having her around. And then for the women's battle royal, we have Indy Hartwell in there, Vicious Vicky Venuto, one of my favorites. We got Tiara James. We got a lot of cool people. Elijah's going to be there. Richard Holiday. So it's, turning out to be a really good card, but they always are.
Oh yeah, I went on the page and I was like, oh my gosh, you have a lot of great cards. Definitely. Does ACW stream like on a platform like
Run Triller?
Okay, cool.
So we
cool,
stream
cool.
live on Triller, and then we upload it afterwards for streaming.
Okay, I definitely need to check. I definitely need to check out for sure. That's why I was asking. I was like, okay, what streaming platform will be on?
Yeah,
now. That's awesome. I do need to ask this. The main event will be with Matt Riddle and Killer Kross. I love him, and I love Scarlett too. Scarlett is a doll. Heard so many great things about her. Being unbiased, who do you have your money on and why?
I don't think Kross is ready to give up that title. This is going to be I believe this is his first defense. He won it and then he wasn't there. Yeah, this is his first defense. And, Poughkeepsie is a special place to him because he grew up not too far from there. And the MJN Center is the very first arena he ever saw live wrestling in with his family. So I think there's so much history there for him. I think he's just coming for blood and he's not letting go anytime soon.
I love Killer Kross. Listen, I mean, I wanted so much more with him when he was on WWE, and he was getting there. But I could understand when you know your worth, it's like, listen, hey, I'm gonna walk away because I know my worth, and now he's killing it on the indie scene. Like, oh my god!
I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason, and things happen when they're meant to happen. So I think even though he seemed to be on a roll in WWE, and we were getting somewhere cool with him, his release was probably the best thing that could have happened for him. Look at him now; he's doing incredible things, and he has full creative control over what he is doing with himself and Scarlett, and they're killing it. They have titles in Romania. They have MLW titles. Like, they are ACW. Just killing it.
What's crazy is that him and Scarlett character on WWE was that impactful that WWE had to give it to another couple. No shade to Zelina and Aleister Black, excuse me. No shade to them. But once that release came in, they was like, they couldn't give up on that character, and they gave it to them.
And like, Aleister Black's a really cool wrestler. Zelina's fine too, and she's cool. But like, Aleister Black has such a unique style. They could have had him do his own thing, and he probably would still be doing it. Trying to have them just copy that was just, I don't know, kind of a.
Yeah, it was off-putting. It was definitely off-putting because I would see so many takes. I would see so many threads, Twitter reviews, and saying how, like, that's not fair. Like, come on now, because it was the epitome of Scarlett and Killer Kross. We saw them live here in Charlotte, Zelina and Aleister. And when they came out, I kept saying to myself, no way. I felt like I was looking at Killer Kross and Scarlett the whole time. I said, WWE, you're wrong for that. Seriously.
And it didn't work out. It sucks for that, but.
Yeah, but nobody could do it like them. Killer Kross and Scarlett, nobody could do it like them for sure. But I know we're getting to our closing. I just want to know what's coming up for you, Paige. Like, anything besides, I know the event that's taking place on July 18th. What are some other upcoming events and the ultimate outcome on what's going on with Paige Mackenzie?
Paige Mackenzie is busy. She works a day job and she has a lot on the side. I work a lot of like music industry events still too, and other wrestling events whenever I get a chance. Let's see. I have a lot of fun stuff coming up. TNA is taping in Albany this week, so I will be at both nights just watching the show. Very excited for that. I'm going to SmackDown in Albany the night before ACW. ACW is my big thing I'm prepping for right now. July 18th at the MJN Center, Poughkeepsie, New York. That is the thing I'm most excited for out of everything I've just listed coming up. That's kind of where I'll be at right now.
Awesome. And finally, where can everybody find you on social media?
I am on Instagram at page.pomz.
Awesome. Paige, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on with me doing the one-on-one. I always enjoy sharing the space with creators. And thank you again for coming on with one-on-one with Sylvia The Siren. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
Sylvia sound the siren. Get it pumped like Big Papa. Break them off proper. Thugonomics, no doctor. Y'all don't put in work, but you talk enough, and the talk is tough. Who your favorite part? We'll chalk it up. Spit an apple in your face like Carlito, the cannon on. I get to twitching like Braun Breaker, the damage on. I could let the trigger go off and trade your boss, and then you dropping down the card, the price of a loss. You shut it down early, blessing. I'm more Monday Night Raw attrition. I go to 11. My thoughts are sinister. Go run to the minister. You ain't getting the push, better go get your gimmick up. I black out like the Ministry of Darkness. Cartridge hit your cartilage, you jonesing around until a steel chair hit your chest. You should be weird, cause I'm nice with the tables like Carolina X. It's lovely like Laveau, that if you ain't Beyond the Bell podcast, you got to go, yeah. Beyond the Bell podcast, like, comment, subscribe, stop playing, and hit that notification bell. Cheat.